Welcome to a brand new episode of The Murtz Show. I will be joined tonight by Kat Edorsson from Survivor One World. We will hash out episode 2 of Survivor Caramoan Fans versus Favorites. Later this evening, I will also be making a pretty major Big Brother announcement. Don't forget to submit your questions in the chat room. You can do that right down there in the screen queue. Our chat room is also open. Feel free to submit questions in there. With that being said, before I bring Kat on, my thoughts so far this season, I think it's been fantastic. I think that certainly this is a significant improvement over Survivor Philippines. I'm interested to hear what you guys think with regard to Survivor Philippines versus this season. I know it's early to make an assessment on Survivor Caramoan, but certainly I know that I'm in the minority. Most people certainly loved Survivor Philippines last season. I was not one of those people. I did not like the season at all. And I definitely think that we have a marked improvement this time around. I think anytime you bring people back, it's going to be good. I just feel like, Russell Swan, Jonathan Penner, Mike Skupin, it didn't really have the cachet that these favorites do. Let's bring Kat on and we will talk about it. Give me 1 second here. Bam. Kat,
Hey guys.
welcome to the Murtz Show. All right, we got to take a photo for the website and hold it for 2 seconds. Perfect. All right, Kat, tell me, why are there no One World people this season?
Do you want the truth? Hey, Murtz, you're frozen. Frozen,
Wait, am I
frozen.
back? Am I back? Am I back?
Yep, you're
Okay,
back. You're back.
okay.
You're back. You're finally here. You want the truth or just in
In
general?
general,
In general, we suck. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think the reason why there wasn't any One World people is because at the exact same time when they had everybody coming out for season 26, we had our finale. So there was no way that anybody from One World could be invited back. I mean, that's the truth. But I mean, for retrospect, I mean, maybe we just weren't cool enough to come back. I know that's not true for me,
well,
but
I mean, do you think that it was also I feel like when they do an all-star season, when they do a fans versus favorites, they're always sort of lacking in strong female characters, and yet One World was all about strong female characters. So I thought for sure one of the girls would, and people I talked to was, "Where's Troyzan? Where's Troyzan?" So where is Troyzan?
he's actually my best friend. It's pretty funny. I was the youngest on the tribe, and I was only 22, and he's the like one of the oldest. And he actually lives right down the street from me, so I see him all the
Is he a
time.
male
But
cougar?
for one world, yes, he is.
Okay.
He's pretty incredible. Um, but for the one world, I mean, obviously, we were known for if we were known for anything, we were known for dominating women.
Hmm.
Just like competitive women. So it was kind of a shock for a lot of people that nobody came back from the girls. But legitimately, we didn't. No one could come back from One World. Troyzan, me, Kim, anybody can come back because it conflicted with our finale. And the same day our finale was going on, that's when they got shipped for season 26.
Right.
So it was impossible.
Do you feel like,
So.
with regard to One World, a lot of the pundits, a lot of the fans of the show that I talk to, they almost feel like it's hard to remember One World. Like they remember that a brunette girl won, and there were a couple of blondes, and there was another. So do you feel like, your whole female alliance, did it just sort of like mesh together in people's heads? And I feel like that's the case a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like that if anyone knows anything from One World, they're just like, there's a whole bunch of chicks in
Right.
there, and I'm pretty sure this one chick won. But you know what? I know for a fact that today, when I was watching season 26, you know, to this day, I still have no idea who went home. Like, who went home? Like, because I know it was one of the blondes, but at least on my day two, I at least made an impact on everyone knew who, like, holy shit, this girl's
It's
stupid.
true.
Like, excuse my language. But at least people knew who I
It's
was.
true.
That made a huge impact. And then, like, as every single episode went on in One World, they were like, wow, like Kat came from this really insecure, selfish little girl and end up being this like kind of like a butterfly. So people kind of knew who I
Yeah.
was at the end and in the beginning. So I stuck out. But in this season, like holy crap, like I have no idea who is who. I know two blondes are hooking up and one's gone. That's all I know.
And
Is she the one that's gone?
yeah, no, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, the other interesting thing is, and here comes the controversy, but I feel like the chicks aren't really that hot on the fans tribe this season. Like, is that just me? Like what is
Ooh,
that?
yo, I that's what I'm saying. I was like, they all look the same,
Yeah.
but they're not that hot. But
Well,
no offense to the girls. Sorry,
yeah.
ladies. Like,
No, and I don't mean any
you guys
offense
are
either.
really
But
pretty.
but the trade-off, Kat, is if you're not like extremely good looking, if you're not like Katie Upton level hot, then you have to be
Right.
an amazing player. And I don't even see that from them yet.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, or an amazing athlete or
Right.
these massive. I mean, like, okay, put it this way. Like in One World, right? So if you remember, like, if anybody could remember on One World, like every girl was totally different. I mean, Chelsea, she was. I mean, everybody was totally different. Like we had Sabrina, she was beautiful. We had Alicia, she had her own thing going on. We had Kim. Everybody was really different. Even Christina, she was Asian. I was this young little white flat-chested boy. Like we were all different. But this season, you really can't tell the girls apart. And if you are going to have a whole bunch of girls like hooking up and like guys all getting together, you would think that we could, I don't know, decipher them
Right.
from like who they are.
Right.
But I really have no idea. No
Now,
idea.
I want to ask you a little bit about let's start with the fans, because I know we're going to spend a lot of time on the favorites. What do you think about the fans? I mean, I feel like Reynolds, is the only one that really stands out to me at this point. I'm having a hard time even remembering the other ones.
I don't know anybody's names. I don't know anybody's names. And I'm a diehard fan.
Hmm.
I mean, I did like, so like I know the really loud black man
Yeah.
and what's his name?
Shamar.
What's his name?
Shamar. Yeah.
Shamar. And I met him. I met him in New York.
Yeah.
And
See, I wasn't
and he
gonna
was there.
I wasn't gonna tell that story. You're just like throwing it right out
Right.
there.
He was there. I remember he was there. So like that's how I remember him. I think he was hitting on Sabrina.
I
So
I can't believe.
I
I
wouldn't be
love that
surprised,
you're just throwing it
but
out
any
there.
but I'm pretty sure that I mean like I don't think he's gonna go anywhere except for after we just saw that next episode, like the previews, he seemed like he's really getting under everybody's skin. But I like that. Okay, so I don't know his name either. So what's the guy who had the idol today?
Reynolds. That's the guy I
What's
like.
Reynolds. So I like Reynolds. Like I like Reynolds. I'm really upset that his pants were too tight because
Man.
I mean like I was about to throw my computer. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Why would you show the idol? Like just put rocks in your pocket." Rupert, he had a tweet today and I was laughing so hard. He was like, "Put rocks in your pocket, just anything. Just don't show the
Yeah.
idol." So, I mean, I do like Reynolds. The other two, I don't really know. The older woman, she seems really nice. Who is the girl with the brown hair? Has she talked yet?
I think her name is Julia. Chat room, correct me if I'm wrong. I think her name is Julia.
Right, I'm not
I don't even think she's really
right.
had a confessional. But with that being said, Corinne hasn't really had a confessional yet either.
Exactly. But hey, to just for fault, I mean, like, I don't know, but I mean, I think they're having the Katie, what is it? Katie, what's Katie's last name? From
From
from Philippines?
Hanson.
Katie Hansen syndrome. Remember, she didn't have an interview till like 10 days in. Like,
Right.
I mean, like, one of those. So, it is what it is. Sometimes people just don't get it. Sometimes, oh, like Carter. Carter
It's
sucks.
true.
He had no
Well, like,
interviews, and I will make fun of him all day.
what's his name? Brett Klauser is the same way. That guy made it to the Final Four and nobody even knew his name.
Exactly. So like, you know what? And the thing is, I swear I thought I wasn't going to get one interview because I was really sad. The first episode when I watched with my mom was like, God, they never showed you. And then the first scene, they put that stupid music, that do 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 do, and then they had like me and like a bug came in. I was like, oh my God, what is that? And that was the first time they introduced me and totally like made me look like a schmuck.
Mhm.
So, which I am, which is fine. But at least I got a character. So
Well,
I was okay with that.
I just, the thing is, and speaking about Shamar, because I do want to talk about him too, this is a season that's called Fans versus Favorites. Shamar is supposedly a big fan, supposedly the same way Eric Reichenbach was when he first played as a fan, and yet if he's such a big
Right.
fan of the show, what the hell is he doing? Like, why is he sitting there the whole time? Why is he, like, it's almost like it's almost like Bizarro fan, you know? Like he's doing everything you're not supposed to do. Why is he doing this?
And you know what? And at the end of the day, how Survivor is making this awkward turn, it's like that's in. It's like that's the new thing. That's the cool thing. It's like show the idol at tribal council. That's the cool thing. Be completely freaking
Yeah,
annoying
totally.
at the tribe, and you're totally in for the rest of the week. Like for instance, like no offense to Christina Shaw,
Uh,
I love you, girl, but we were trying to get eliminated. We were trying to get like eliminated Christina Shaw since day one because she was just like losing. She was making us lose our mind, but she never got eliminated, and she went before
right.
me. Like I went before her. So like that's what I'm saying. Like in Tarzan, so like if you're weird and you got issues and you're like losing it, that's cool. That's in for Survivor because people will keep you around and you're not a threat. So regardless if he's not planning on the strategy or not, if he is a fan, if he's not, if he's full of shit, if he's not, he is making it work. Because if he makes it pretty far because he is a pain in the butt, then it's working for him.
Well, I think that it's comparable, you know, like Shamar and Philip, I think, are playing similar strategies where they're kind of like on the outs of their tribe, but I think that there's a huge difference in the way that they're coming off. Like, Philip really isn't doing anything either, and yet everybody seems to like him. Everybody thinks he's good to drag to the end, when really he's doing the same thing that Shamar is doing, except Shamar is abrasive when he does it. Or are they both abrasive? Is there a difference?
I think that is the question that everybody's been asking, and I'm kind of baffled myself, like being playing in the game, like, you know, I know that if I even tried, I tried that on day two. Do you remember? Like I tried to step in, try to be a leader, and I completely failed, and I got my butt chewed
Yeah.
out. Like the girls handed it to me. They said, "You're immature, you're acting selfish, you got to tighten up, or we're taking you out." And I really did, but that's women. In this case, I really like legitimately have no idea why Philip. I mean, I really do like Philip, but I have no idea why everybody's listening to him. I thought it had something to do with the fact that him and Andrea and Francesca played on the same
Yes.
tribe or
Yes.
same season, and then Dawn and Cochran and Brandon, but no one likes Brandon, so
Well,
he's out. And Eric is a floater right now because he's not with an alliance. So I
well,
was like, so I guess
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
actually, you raise an even better point there because it's like, why didn't the three from Redemption Island get together with the three from South Pacific? You got six right
And
there.
go
You're running the
together.
show. Yeah,
See, but the thing is that like at the end of the day, like it is a cools club. Like who wants to sit at the cool kid table? Like
yeah,
if everyone's got issues with Brandon Hans, then Brandon Hans ain't sitting at the cool table.
yeah. So season
If
has
but
nothing
the
to do
thing
with
is,
it.
you would think,
Season has nothing to do with it.
oh, absolutely not. Absolutely, yeah. So like the thing is that you would think that if you're from your season, you're gonna bring it and like you'll hold that alliance, which is what I thought they were doing in the
Yep,
beginning. But at the end of the day, there's only one person that can win, so they're just gonna kind of go with the flow. And since Brandon Hans will probably dig his own grave
yep.
anyways. So you would think that would happen with Philip, but Philip's kind of like I, that's why it's to be determined. I'm just gonna leave it at that because Philip's really awesome, but when he plays the game, he's a specialist. Hashtag the specialist, and you got to get his book because it's probably gonna be really funny.
Well,
So I don't know.
now, there was a lot of controversy about, Andrea turning on her friend last week and, like, she owed her something because they were friends outside. My question to you is, why is nobody talking about the fact that, like, they voted for her too? Andrea, like, I don't understand why everybody's mad at Andrea when they voted for Andrea too. It's only that Andrea was successful in getting rid of who she wanted to get rid of. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't understand why they're blaming Andrea only because her plan worked, whereas the other person's, plan did not work.
It's the dude. It's at the end of the day, it's the blame game. Andrea might be the youngest one on the
Yeah.
tribe for all we know. Like someone's got to be at fault, and usually it's the if like okay, like what happened to me is that on my tribe it was always my fault. Like everything. Chelsea made me cry twice. It's always my fault. I was the youngest one. If something didn't get done, it was my fault. Or if and like she's my best friend now, but like I cried all the time because everybody was always picking on me. So at the end of the day, regardless, everyone's gonna have hate towards Andrea, even though she didn't do anything wrong. She was just either strategizing just as much as Francesca, and she was just as surprised that she got just as many as votes as
That's
she did. But So there's no reason for any kind of hate towards her,
But
but
yeah, but
someone's
they
got to hate
voted
somewhere.
for her. That's what I don't understand. It's one thing if she didn't get any votes, but like they voted for her. Is it just that people are mad that her plan worked? Because if you're gonna say that, like, if you're gonna say that, oh, we were friends outside, well, then you wouldn't have voted for Andrea either.
Are you talking about why Don was crying in the
No,
beginning?
I'm speaking specifically about like Francesca versus Andrea. Everybody says that they were friends in real
Yeah.
life, like you shouldn't have done that. But the thing is, they voted for Andrea too. This is what I don't understand.
What I would say to people is just shove it where the sun doesn't shine. You know what? And at the end of the day, they're probably still friends right now. Every time, like what happens is that you're in the heat of the moment, you hate everybody in the game, but then when and then everything cools down because the game is done, and then when you rewatch
Yeah,
the game,
yeah. It brings
it's
it all back up,
fireworks. You
right?
know what I'm saying? Like Troy took so long to just get over get over everything with Kim, and he was completely over it. He watches the episode first day, and boom, now he's all like freaking out.
Yeah.
So, and me too. Like I felt like I couldn't speak to anybody for like a week that day because when I saw my blind side, I ate my own big pie and my nice cup of milk, and I sat in my room for a few days
Yeah.
and cried. So that's just what happens. Everyone gets fired up when they watch the game again.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about Cochrane. Before we get to Cochrane, this is a good time for me to remind everybody to please hit that blue button inside your window. You can automatically tweet that you are here at the Murtz Show, watching Kat from Survivor One World answer your questions. In addition, I will be making a very big Big Brother Canada announcement later this evening. It's going to blow your minds, believe me. This is not overhype, so wait for that a little bit later. Kat, I want to talk a little bit more about Cochrane. We saw this whole thing today where every time he did a confessional, he was sitting on this like rock throne. Was that a little bit of like foreshadowing? Is he really the king of all kings in a season where everybody's crazy?
Dude, I am like I don't care what anybody says. I mean I really just don't care. Like I'm a Cochran fan. Like I just the day one when I first saw him on his season, I was like this guy is just so smart cuz he's one of those like non-threatening but like he won't fight you, but he'll beat you in
Yeah,
words, you
yeah.
know? So if me and him ever were to have a confrontation, he'd be like he'd make me look so stupid because we all know that I don't speak English.
I would actually
So
love
like
to. I would love to see a
um
confrontation between you and Cochrane. It would probably be my favorite
right?
thing in
Like
life.
I mean, right? Like everybody would be like I'd probably just be like, dang, like this sucks. But no, Cochrane's actually really exciting to watch, and like I laugh at everything he says because like I thought like when he was sitting up there and like he said that about Brandon, I was rolling laughing.
Nice
Like I
thing
really was.
about
And
last
then
week.
and
Think
then
about a new dawn. I love the new dawn one last
I
week.
know, God, that was the best part. Like the best part of the entire episode was, and I tweeted it. I was like, "It's a new dawn," and then he starts cracking up. It's a new dawn. Like I was. I mean, I think it's priceless. I think that's the reason why that they made. Because I mean, you really do. They choose you. They choose who they want to tell the
Yep.
story. Because at the end of the day, when they're casting for survivors, for anybody who's watching, they're looking for storytellers. And if you can't tell a story, then they're not going to want to. I mean, not only you have to fit the part that they're looking for, but you have to be able to tell a story. If you can't talk and you can't tell exactly what's going on, they don't want to listen. And Cochran is a storyteller,
Well,
and he's like Boston Rob, you know,
well, I mean, also,
like Boston Rob told a story.
well, it's also the differentiation, right? Like people are like, oh, Cochrane, like whatever, like he's not really a survivor, but it's like at least I can remember his name and his appearance and the fact that he was sunburned. Where, like you were saying before, I can't even remember one of the fan guys' names.
Right, right. And like you remember, and the thing is, like, I swear to God, I feel like I'm just watching all favorites. And then the fan stuff, it
Yeah.
comes in. But when the fan stuff come in, I'm watching the monkeys. Like
Well,
I'm
I
watching the
saw you
monkey
tweet that.
clips.
I saw you
I
tweet
think
that.
that's all I can see. Like I'm like, God, like, okay, wow, Cochran, he's so funny. Look at his little feet, they're all swollen. And then the fans come in, I'm like, oh, look at that little monkey. I was
Well,
like, oh, and then it goes back to the
Well,
favorites.
okay. Now, I'm writing about this like right now in the column, but I'll bring it up to you too. Do you almost feel like we're in this like weird parallel universe in the sense that like we obviously want the favorites to do well. We obviously want the favorites to win, and yet when it comes to an immunity challenge, I find myself rooting for the fans only because I know that if the fans win, then we're going to get all the drama at the favorite camp. Whereas if the favorites win immunity, it's snooze central.
Right. I think everybody who watches the show and is tweeting about the show, it feels the exact same
Yeah,
way. Everybody wants the drama. That's why, like, I tweeted to Jeff like 2 times. Mind you, he never tweets back to any one of the survivors except for maybe Russell. But I tweeted him like 10 times, like, dude, like this is amazing. There's just so much drama that you could make in this season with all these crazy people. At the end of the day, there's a lot of people that's probably not gonna like each other.
yeah.
Like, like and that's awesome. Like you love that stuff. People love that
Well,
stuff. So yeah, I found myself rooting for the fans. Were you rooting for the favorites or the
well,
fans?
I want the it's weird because obviously at the end I want the favorites to
In
win.
the challenge.
Yeah, but in the challenge I want the
Right, but in the
fans to win because
challenge,
I know that if the
me
fans
too.
if they lose, then we're gonna get that whole last 20 minutes is gonna be just them.
Right, right. And I'm yeah, see, that's exactly how I think everybody feels
I
that
think
way.
so too.
Everybody feels that way. On the inside, they're rooting for the fans, but they want the favorites to win. But if the fans win the immunity challenge, then we'll get more drama from the fans.
You
Like
got it.
I totally agree with
Exactly.
you.
Exactly.
I feel the same way.
Now, you feel like, I feel like this is Cochran's game to lose. I said that on day one. He's playing against people, that are more concerned with, like, doing stealth or us or, like, crying like Don does or Brandon who's, like, making a mess. Do you feel like if Cochran wins this season, do you feel like it's going to be respected, or do you feel like it's going to be Redemption Island, where it was like, well, Boston Rob had no competition, so what good is his victory? It's like he was playing with children. Is that what Cochran is facing this season? He's playing with kids?
That's a really great question because I mean that's hard though because a lot of people are really diehard Sandra fans, and some people just straight up believe like Sandra, like maybe she didn't kind of do that much,
Totally.
in general, but she's a two-time winner, and she, we all know. But some people are really hardcore fans, but then some people are really hardcore Kim fans. And Kim fans are people that dominate the game and they deserve to
Right.
win. And even though, and then at the end of the day, don't get me wrong, you could pull a Russell Hantz and be like, I deserve to win. But at the end of the day, the end of the game is you have to overrule everybody else's like vote and get them to vote for you. That is the real challenge. Not only do you get to the final three, but then you have to convince the jury to tell them why you deserve it and
Yeah.
why you should give them the money after you just hurt them. So it depends. Like, if Cochran were to win, um, honestly, I would think that it depends how the game goes. Like if I would want him to win because I think he's
Oh no,
great and
no,
I
for
think
sure
he's
he deserves. But
classy.
well, it's not so much it's not so much will he win. It's just like in the grand scheme of Survivor champions, I just see if Cochran wins, I
Would
just
I
see.
put him up in the
Yeah, because
champions?
the thing is, he played
Like
against like
would
Philip and Brandon, and like he didn't really face a lot of
oh
competition.
oh no, no, no. Well, okay. Well, okay. You gotta, yeah, and Merch, you gotta give him a break. You gotta back it up real quick because it's not like he's playing with all stars.
Right. That's what I'm
No
saying.
offense.
That's what I'm saying.
No offense. Like I mean, don't get me wrong. Like you put me out there, and if I go play against like Amanda and
That's what I'm
Parvati and
saying.
Boston
That
Rob and Russell, I might have a little bit of a
right.
situation.
Right.
So I wouldn't say that if he wins fans versus favorites. I mean, at the end of the day, didn't Parvati win fans versus favorites
Yes, she did.
last
Yep.
year,
She did,
last
but she
time?
had a lot of
Yeah.
competition
So
though. She had
Parvati,
Cerie, she had
she had a
Amanda.
right, right. She had a lot of competition, and those women were so competitive. This season, if whoever does win, I'm not very sure if it would be like they would be the overall best of the
Right.
best, but whoever that winner is or that final three might be, they might come on to the All Star season if there's an All Star
Right.
season
Right.
two, and they might be like as known as All Stars. I mean, like at this day, like I mean, I didn't prove myself to be an All Star, but I could even just go back just because I was just so blindsided.
What
So it just depends. It depends.
what do you think about this I just every time they show these two talking, it's just surreal to me. What do you think about this Brandon Eric alliance? I mean, there's so many different names you could call them, like because ironically enough, they're also the two that both gave away their immunity idols. I just think it's like the most unlikely pairing. Like the fact that these two are buddies is just beyond hilarious to me.
We should actually probably start a hashtag for them, like their
Yeah,
bromance, just like all for one for all,
Beavis and
like little
Butthead.
curly and like right,
Yeah.
yeah, like something. No, he'd be pissed if I said that. But actually, no, I mean there's definitely like a bromance going on. Like, he's like, what did Brandon say? He's like, I'm gonna what do you say? I'm gonna tear this up,
Yeah.
or like what do you
Or
say? He's
yeah,
like, I'm gonna play dirty. Like I was just like, Brandon, like stop being so fucking dramatic.
dude.
Excuse my language. Like why are you being so dramatic? But yeah, no, I mean like I think that they're on the outs. And it's unfortunate that I would have thought, like we said before, that like the three from Redemption and the three from South Pacific, or not South Pacific, but you know what I mean, would come together. But they didn't. Obviously, they have issues in the past, and obviously they think that Brandon's a loose cannon, so they're not going to put him in, even though they should,
Yeah.
because he's in their past season. But it is what it is. So it looks like that Tweedledee and Tweedledum might have to just get along, and
So funny.
hopefully they keep winning. So I really hope they get to the merge, because could you imagine like what he would do to people he doesn't even know?
Man.
Like if Brandon wants to like completely tear the house down and he wants to like go ham on everybody, could you imagine him doing it on people he doesn't know? Like that would be
Well, it's
hilarious.
just
Because for me, if he did something to Andrea or to Dawn or to like one of my friends, like I'm like, dude, like don't freaking pee in the rice, like you psycho, like I'd be like, dude, don't do that. But for someone I don't really know, I'm like, wow, it's kind of good TV. So I don't know.
it's just the fact that like I feel like Brandon says something, and then I just feel like Eric is like, yeah, yeah. It's just it's like the most surreal thing I've ever seen.
Um, yeah, 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 yeah.
You
Like
know?
I was actually trying to think of something that Eric said that the only thing I remember was from the first episode was when he said, when he was like, Philip gave me an ultimatum. You're either with me or you're not, and if you're not, I don't care because I got the numbers. So that's really all I remember about Eric. I don't really remember too much
How
anything else besides just the uh-huh.
how great was that scene where Philip was explaining the nicknames for Stealth RS Incorporated? That was probably one of my favorite
And
scenes.
the song, did you hear the song? Dun, 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 like, did you hear the song? Like,
So good.
I was like, it's like the deliverer and the specialist and the something else. Like, I was like,
My,
dude, like, all I kept saying to myself was, where's my name?
I
Like, I want,
know,
like,
I
K-Swagger.
know.
Like, what do I get?
Do you think that he pre because those names are beyond hilarious, like especially Cochrane's, like intelligence attaché or
Here here's the thing. All right, so here's another thing that everyone has to keep in mind too, because after you played the game once, like I don't know if you would recognize yourself as an all-star, but I mean it's pretty damn good compared to like I mean like I would recognize them as an all-star compared to me because I haven't played twice. But for them, they had time to think about what they're gonna do and what they're gonna say and who they're gonna be when you get on the island. It's not like when you're first auditioning, because when you're first auditioning to be on the show, you be anybody who they want you to be. Like if I have to be this flirtatious little blonde single girl, fine, I'll be that.
Yep,
But then when you get on the island, you be who you are.
yep.
So like if Philip or if Brandon or if Andrea, if they all knew they've already played the game before, they're all being picked to come back, they actually have a choice to be exactly who they want to be and to be persuaded at who they want to be. So for instance, remember last season when what's his face? He was my favorite. Penner. Was it Penner? No, 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 not Penner. No, no, it wasn't my favorite. It was Russell. Remember how Russell didn't learn
Yeah.
anything from his past
Yeah.
seasons? He was the exact same person. He even had time before the show to remember, hey, don't be arrogant. Don't be a leader. Calm down, pump the brakes, chill. But he didn't. So it's like if you can't come out with a better head or a more, knowledge of the game and how you're going to be persuaded, if you're not doing it intentionally, you're doing it on purpose. So I know for a fact that Philip had to have come up with those names before the game even
Totally,
started
totally,
to even think about what he's going to do.
totally.
Absolutely.
Let's see. We'll take a question from Kenyon Bollinger. What is your opinion on Sherry this episode? Well, you told me you don't even know their names, right?
Sherry's the older woman,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Um, I like Sherry because she's not too much, not too little. She looks athletic. She looks like she's got a good head on her shoulders. And from what she said today, I liked how she said she wanted to keep what's his face, the big mumbo jumbo man. I think the fact that she wants to keep him around for strategize, I think that's great. She's not talking too much, but not talking not enough. Like for instance, the last woman on my season was Monica, who was that age, like kind of like she was really fit, beautiful, but she didn't strategize enough about the game. So kind of let us play it for her, and then she got eliminated. But with Sherry, I feel like that she actually might be playing the game, but doing that thing that Kim does, which is let everybody else make a fool of themselves in front of me so I can watch the game play and then I'll just go with
Yeah,
the flow.
yeah.
Because in the beginning, before the merge, you need to watch how the game, you just got to go with the flow. You can't be too much, can't be not enough. Just got to go with the flow and then hurry up and make it to the merge. So then you can then you can actually show what you're made of. And then that's how you win.
Yeah, she has a like funny way of speaking, don't you think? Like I don't know if it's like what is that? You know what I'm talking about? Like she speaks in a very
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't want to. I mean, I don't want to call her out because I don't really know if that's like an accent or like a kind of like a. I mean, I don't
I don't
know.
know
Like I'm
either. I
speaking
don't know.
weird
I don't know.
too.
You're right. Maybe yeah, hopefully it's not like a disability that I'm like calling out right now.
Oh my
I don't know.
god, dude! Don't
I
say
don't
that.
know. I don't know. Um
Well, if it makes her Sherry, if it makes you feel better, I can't read, so don't listen to Mertz.
oh
So
my
maybe you
god.
could speak with the disability.
I did not say she had a disability. I just said that like I think that there's something, interesting about the way she speaks, which I think is fair.
Hey, hey, hey! No judgment here, bud.
Um I wanted to know in terms of like watching the show back, back from like the time that you played, is it weird seeing it now? Like now you've had sort of like a few seasons to digest. Um, do you feel like, oh, I should have done that, or man, I wish I had like looked in that tree for that idol, or is it sort of like been there, done that, it's over?
Dude, it's like it lives in like your veins. Like it just like it pumps like your blood pumps like when you see it. Like you just like you think about all the things that you could do and what you will do and like I swear to God, I tell Jeff Probst all the time, like I'm going back on. I know you don't know that yet, but I'm coming. So I'm getting ready. So, I say it to myself all the time. When you watch the game, you can't just help but look at like all the things that you could have done. But that's the thing though, like as a fan, you know, I could sit back on my TV and like I watch Twitter, right? Because all the time, like when I'm reading on Twitter, everybody's like looking at the TV and watching the game and going, God, you're so stupid. Why'd you play the idol? Or God, why didn't you look for this? Dude, shut up. You're not playing the game and it's not that easy. Like, sometimes if you don't know the game and you don't look for the idol, okay, that's understandable. You're an idiot. But like other times, like for instance, for me on the second challenge, when that balance beam, that was hard as heck. And no one understood that, but everybody was making fun of me sitting back on your widescreen TV just chilling. So, no, it's not that easy. And when I do watch the game, yeah, like I want to, like we all do. That's why me and Troy and Kim, like we're all so big with this. Even when we haven't been on the show for like 2 seasons now, we're still really big on it. And like we still watch it as if we're still playing the game.
Right.
So,
Um, do you find that how do you think people on your season would have done on this season? Do you think that like do you think Chelsea? I just don't see Chelsea and Philip getting along in any way.
my Chelsea and this Philip.
Yeah.
Oh no. No, no, no. Chelsea is my best friend in the entire world, and she is one of a kind, but she does not play around. If you're gonna like, she won't deal with anybody's nonsense. Nobody's. So I mean, like, if you're acting crazy, she'll be like, "Look, you're acting crazy. I need to step myself away from this." Because I mean, she's hilarious. Like, did you see my face when when Tarzan put all of her dirty laundry in her bowl, like in
Oh
her,
my
like she was like
gosh.
cleaning. I looked up at the camera and I was just like, yo, she is about to just flip somebody over. Like she was so angry. And she walked up, she's like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go puke. Like it was hilarious. It was hilarious. So no, absolutely. I'm like don't get me wrong, like again, this is all in game play. So don't take offense to what I'm saying. Outside the game, Philip is great. He's not like I don't think that he acts like that at all because I've talked to him all the time and I never even thought he was like
Totally.
that. But in the game, he wants to be the specialist. He wants to be a character. That's who he is. And the thing is that when he comes off the show, when Brandon comes off the show, when Andrea comes off the show, you are exactly who you said you were going to be on the show because you had plenty of time to think about it. And if you didn't like it, don't blame anybody else because that's what you did.
Yeah.
So, you got, it is.
I mean,
I mean,
I feel like tonight we sort of saw the favorites dominate the immunity challenge, and I just feel like the fans are so all over the place that that's basically what's going to continue from this point on. I don't see the fans winning anything. Like they're just a complete mess, and that's why I have a problem with seasons where it's like favorites versus fans. I just don't think it's fair. It's like having, you know, Tiger Woods take on my 5-year-old cousin in putt putt,
I would see that. I'd pay to see
right?
that. No, I mean, absolutely. But I think that they chose to do a fans versus favorites, but like it's more like a fan.
Oh, did she get frozen? Who's frozen? Oh, she'll be back. Can you guys see me? Can Yeah, it's
When
her.
it comes
Okay.
to fans versus favorites, I think it was more like fans versus let's see what we can really come up with versus fans. Like I think that's kind of what the whole majority was. Because if you really want to put fans versus favorites, you would see some serious players on that, but then that wouldn't be fair, you know? Or hence you could actually, or it's just because they have to put newer
Hmm.
players on and our favorites aren't as badass as they used to be back in the day. You know,
Yeah.
like there. I mean, I haven't seen another guy that you can compare to James. Like, do you see someone that can compare to James?
No.
No. Like, I mean, I haven't seen like I mean, Kim, she's an exception. She's an all-star. If that's fine.
Oh, I think you're freezing up. Oh, I think she'll be back. I'm sure her internet, I think, probably just dropped. Who's excited for my Big Brother Canada announcement? We'll bring in Kat back. Waiting for Kat. What do you all think the Big Brother Canada announcement is going to be? Hmm. Let's see. We are having some tech issues tonight. Just trying to figure it out with Kat. There we go. All right, she's back.
Me? Yeah.
There. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
No,
No.
you're good. You're
Yes.
good. You're good. I think we were just we
Okay.
were both we're both having like I think it's just the system. I don't think it's either of our computers. Um, and we will be getting close to the Murtz challenge that's coming up in about 5-10 minutes. Um, what do you think is going to happen from here on out, Kat? Like now we sort of see that we have a power alliance on both sides. So how do you see it shaking out?
Power lines. On both sides.
I
Okay, so
think
you see
so.
the six.
Yep.
So okay, so obviously we know what happened with the fan side. Fans. Instead of you thinking that, oh, by the way, can I just mention one thing? Next time when the cool kids want to sit at the cool table, make sure you count to six because you only counted four.
Dude, I don't get it. And they're supposed to be fans.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like,
I,
can you tell
that's
them
what
to
I
count to
don't
six? Can you tell
I
them to
don't
count to six?
understand.
Because I don't know what they were doing. I mean, I love my one of my really good friends is Matt, and on my season, Matt was like, I got Colton, I got Jay, I got Troy, and that's all I need. And I was
Yeah,
like, dude, you got to count to five. Like, what are you doing?
I don't get
So,
it.
just to let everybody know that now, since the cool table just got split up, so now, like, the kind of like, hey, let's not all hook up, let's all kind of just hang out group is all in a powered alliance. And now, obviously, those the hot, cute players are in trouble.
Yeah,
And then over on the favorite side, we have everybody besides Eric and Brandon, right?
and Brenda, I think.
Oh yeah, why? Where's Brenda been? We haven't talked about Brenda at all. She's
No,
a
we
cutie.
haven't. We haven't, and like I'm like, and she's actually a fellow Floridian, like you are. Like, I'm
Yeah, she's right by me.
I'm very close to Brenda, and like I can tell you that before she went out, she was very hungry, like very prepared. But I feel like I don't know if it's the heat. I feel like while Cochrane's ailments from the sun have been on his skin, I think it might have affected Brenda mentally. Like I feel like she's just broken down already.
Really? Yeah, I don't know if her spirit's broken. I just think she hasn't got, she hasn't, again, she just had, it's only the second episode, so we
Right.
can't doubt her yet. I think she's got a little bit more pep to her
Well,
step. And you know what? And here's another thing, inside info. If you're not too much in the first few episodes, you're probably going to be there for a minute. So that's so usually a good thing. So if you're not that highly like all over the place on the TV, that's fine. Take it as a compliment because you might be there for a long time.
Well, do you think it's strategy too? Do you feel like, because I do feel like a lot of these players have come back and they're trying to correct the mistakes that they made. Corinne, for example, who was so bitchy on Gabon, is being like the nicest person ever. I feel like we have Elizabeth Hasselbeck out there or something. Similarly, Brenda played too hard, and now she's really sort of floating under the radar. So do you think that it's probably a conscious decision to do that?
I didn't. I think that she had a lot of time to think about it, and I think that if you come on to the back on the season and you make a huge impact on changing who you used to be, I like I bow down to that because that's all I'm about. I'm all about like changing everything that I used to be and becoming the person I am today. So unfortunately for Corinne, I didn't watch her season. I heard more about her than I had to even watch the season, so I heard that she was a little bit fired up. Um, but it is nice to know that, I mean, her tweets are pretty fired up too. Like, she gets a little feisty. But it's nice to know that if she is trying to make a huge difference, then she is making an impact on the game by being somebody that she's not or that she wants to be as opposed to who she used to be. I think it's a big deal. I give her a pat on the back.
Right, right. Yeah, I think Corinne actually has been. I think Corinne has been playing a fantastic game. Not a lot of people are talking about it, but you and I both know it must not be easy for her to keep her mouth shut. Like, I'm sure she wants to like rip people in half, you know?
You know what? That is, I'm telling you, that is the secret. You want the secret to win in the beginning? Shut up. Like, don't say anything. Get your alliance. Shut up. Let everybody else play the game in front of you. That's, the only reason why I don't want to bring up because this is Survivor, but like the most closest people in the world to me from reality TV would be my boyfriend Hayden and would be my best friend Kim as well. Like, Chelsea's my best friend, but Kim and Hayden were both winners and they won almost like the exact way where they watched the game play in front of them and let everybody else make a mess of the entire game. So
Yeah,
it's like that's kind of what I see, and I mean, I take all that in consideration because I mean, like, I really messed up my chance. Like, I freaking ruined it. I threw it right out the door. So, like, I should have known better. But, for Corinne and everybody else who's kind of just like having their alliance and watching the game, that's really important. And even Cochran, like, and Dawn, like, they're kind of just watching the game a little bit.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they have their hearsay and their interviews, but they watch the game. They let everybody else make a mess. And I guarantee because Brenda's really competitive, Andrea is really competitive, and Eric and Brandon, they're gonna somehow, some way, those four are gonna kick themselves in the foot, or they're because they're so competitive and they're gonna go against each other, and it's gonna be all this. But like people like Dawn or Cochran or like that one girl Sherry, just kind of just hey, everybody else play. I'm right here. When I gotta step in, I'll step in. Until then, you guys play, fight. I'll be right here.
Totally,
So
totally.
I think it's great.
We are going to get to the Murtz challenge in just a minute. Kat, I wanted to ask you a little bit about Dawn. We haven't talked about Dawn at all. How do you think she's doing? Do you think that she is too emotional for this game?
Absolutely not. Dawn is a beast. And you have to believe in her because she's awesome. I haven't met her before, but we're tweet friends. I swear to God, like when you're on Twitter, like you got tweet friends. Like that's how me and Murtz became really good friends. Like we're tweet friends. So
Well, no, we
I
met
think
in
that she's
person. We met in person.
we met in person. We met in person, but I did meet him on the internet first. But I do really, really appreciate Dawn. I love where she comes from. I love what she's about. Her tweets and like everything that she has to say is genuine. I feel like she comes from a good place. She wants great things to happen. At the end of the day, I know that she can be competitive, but then she's a little bit passive. So let's say if she makes it to Final Four, Final Five, whatever, and she doesn't win, she's not gonna hate you. Like so it's like I like what she's about. And I like that she's strong and she's competitive. And like, that's I kind of really, really liked RC when she played because I
Yep.
liked how RC was really competitive. And I really am an RC fan about that. I loved how she would just continue to go in the water and go in the water. And I feel like that's how Dawn will be. I feel like that she'll let the game play in front of her, but when she needs to step in, she will definitely, perceive. And the reason why she's emotional is because she's got 5 kids and she has a heart. Like some people just don't have emotions. And I understand because I cried all the time. So I mean, I have nothing against it. I think she's doing great.
Do you think Cochran is going to stay loyal to her? Because remember, Cochran did vote her out in South Pacific.
I don't think Cochran has another choice but to stay loyal to her because
Yeah,
you
when
know,
when
it'd be
Dawn is
another thing.
when Dawn is like the most normal person on your tribe.
Exactly. Like, you know what? If I had a choice to eat, like, like, I mean, I'm a health nut. So if I had a choice to eat like oatmeal or cake, like, I would go for oatmeal. Like, it's just kind of like a duh decision. Like,
Wow, who would pick
you know,
oatmeal over cake?
I'm a fitness person and that's all
Okay.
I eat is oatmeal. But
Oh
anyways, I got a lot
man.
of I got a lot of things. But to go back to what we were saying is that I would think that this is his best option. He was smart, which we all know that he is, that he would stay with Don. At the end of the day, we know that he's really smart, that if he has to make a change, he will.
Hmm.
So Don will always keep that in the back of her head that at the end of the day, if he has to choose, he will drop it like it's hot, you know? Like his little feeties.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
he definitely but I think that his best option is that if Andrea strategizes too much and Brenda can't get it together because she's just way too hot and everyone just and Brandon's probably gonna come after Brenda next because if she takes Andrea out, then he's gonna try to go to Brenda because she's hot. And you
Yeah.
know Brandon doesn't like hot chicks, so ruins the whole show for everybody else. But so I think it'd be your best choice. Best
if
choice
you
by far.
if you had to pick your winner right now, who would you pick?
Well, yeah, you got to be fair. I got to do fans and favorites because you
Okay.
never know. Um, if I had to pick someone to win, I would probably pick Cochran. For just and my mom hates it too. Like my mom's like, why? And I'm like, I don't know, dude. He's just so funny, and I just like I see, and I mean, like I just love him. I just think that he's great, and even though it goes against every single thing that I live for, because I'm all about like if you deserve it, you win it, and you deserve it. But I'm all about like competing wise because like strategy and knowledge, like I'm a social butterfly. I can't like I can't like put math together. Like I can't do any of that kind of stuff. So like saying that I think Cochran should win would technically be going against everything that I have always known. But if he deserves it and he manipulates everybody, and
Yeah.
that's like the new thing in Survivor these days is everybody's like, I don't have to win a challenge. I'll still win anyways. That's at the end of the day, that's the game. So I would say Cochran, and on the other side, if I had to choose, since I only know like 3 of them, I'll just pick Sherry just for the hell of it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, name two other people on the fans tribe aside from Sherry.
Um, do I have to? I don't really know anybody.
I know. That's why I want to see if you can do it.
Probably not. Like, I'm gonna pick the 2 monkeys in the
I knew
tree.
you were going to
I
say
mean,
that.
I'm really not. I don't know them well enough. Like, and I don't know who they are. I mean, unless you did some serious research on their background, I don't see them tweeting. I don't really see them, social networking. No one's freaking said hi to me.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't really know who they are. So I would definitely pick the 2 monkeys or Cochrane or Sherry. That's all I got.
All right. That's well. There you have it. Now, this is your final chance to tweet that you were here with Kat. She is about to take her Murtz challenge. You can do that by hitting the blue tweet button in your window right at the top of the screen. I know a lot of people are already submitting questions about the big BB Canada announcement. It is coming up right after Kat finishes the Murtz challenge. Now, Kat, we have a tradition that we do here on the Murtz show. We end every episode with the Murtz challenge. Are you ready for your challenge?
What is a challenge?
Okay. Well, it was a little bit. It was hard for me to come up with this one just because you're known as kind of this like zany personality. So I couldn't really tell you to do an impression of Jeff Prost. That's like what I give like my boring guests when I can't think of like what else to give them. So none of that. However, I do think that we should sort of take I call it the Survivor Wheel of Fortune. Are you ready for this?
All right, shoot.
So, I was thinking that I would randomly name 5 survivors, and when I give you the name, I want to see if you can do your best impression of these 5. And then, as soon as I snap my fingers, I'll give you the next name.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Now, do you need any props or anything, or are you like ready to roll?
Um, depending on the person, I mean, I got a few things around here. Hold on, let me check.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just gonna have to deal with what I got. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know.
Here we go. Here we
I
go.
might
Merch
fail.
challenge
All
time.
right.
It's the Survivor Wheel of Fortune. First one is Troyzan.
Troyzan. Okay, hold on, hold on. Wait.
Troyzan.
I
Time is
got this,
ticking.
got this,
Time is
got this,
ticking. Time is ticking.
got this.
Okay.
This is my island. This is my island.
Okay,
All
next.
right, so
Alicia.
Alicia. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I got this.
Time.
Hold on. We gotta be
Time.
brown. Hold on. We got brown hair. Wait,
Oh my
wait.
gosh. Oh my
Hold on.
gosh.
Let
Oh
me
my
get.
gosh.
There's
Oh my
boobs.
gosh.
Wait, I got boobs.
Oh my god. Oh
Okay.
my god.
Oh,
Whoa.
oh, yes. There's too booty too much up in here. Uh, okay.
Okay, next.
That's
The
started.
specialist. Philip Shepard. Philip Shepard.
Philip Shepard. Philip Shepard. I don't have Philip Shepard. Let's see. I don't know. Can I do like a hat?
Oh my gosh.
I'm a specialist.
All right. That one was pretty weak, Cat. I gotta tell you. Okay, Boston
That
Rob.
was pretty weak. Boston Rob. All right. Yo, these guys are idiots. Like, I got this game in the bag. Like, are you kidding right now? Like, I mean, like, they won't even do anything. Like, I do everything. I'm running this show.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Last one. RC.
RC. All right, hold on. Let me see.
Oh, I see. Whoa.
Oh
There's a
my
lot of them.
God. Is this my leopard? Oh my God, I
Oh
love
my gosh.
leopard.
Oh my gosh.
God.
All right. All
Hi,
right.
Abby. Come on.
You have passed. You have passed the merch challenge. You have passed the merch challenge. Uh,
Thank you.
well, Kat, I want to thank you for being a guest on the merch show. You have to help me. You have to help me secure Kim and Chelsea on this show. I have been trying to get Kim and Chelsea for so long. I feel like it's Angelina Jolie and Scarlett Johansson. Okay, I don't understand what their big.
Here's my thing. You like that's what everyone's got to do. Like you just got to ask me. Like I will tell them,
Okay.
"Hey, can you please do the show?" And they'll do it because like they do what Kitten says because Kitten
Okay.
means what she says. Anywho, but yeah, just ask me and I'll have them come on the show. They'll do
Okay.
We'll do it together.
We'll do it all.
Chelsea and I are flying out to Kim's wedding in like 2 weeks, and I'll be with Chelsea in like a week. So
Kim's
we'll be
getting
there
married
filming
in
the
2
show.
weeks.
Yeah, we're going to Mexico.
Didn't she just get engaged?
You don't want to talk about it.
Oh my gosh. It was recent though. I'm pretty sure it was recent. Anyway, okay. What about Hayden? How's Hayden?
Hayden's amazing. He's the best boyfriend ever. He got me beautiful roses for Valentine's Day. We've been together since July. So, he's great. We have an incredible time, and you'll see us at all the events together. And we'll be at Temecula. We'll be in Orlando.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, then I'll be seeing you very shortly.
Yep.
That's coming up, by the way. That's not that far away anymore.
I raise my money, and I have to like continue to tell my boyfriend like, Hayden, like, dude, like, you have to get your money. And he's like, don't worry, I got it. He's like, I'll get a sponsor. I was like, okay. So
Oh my
we'll figure
gosh.
it out. But you'll both see us there.
All right.
Shining. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Kat, thank you for joining me. I am going to let you go because it's about that time for that announcement. Let's give Kat the merch sign before we let her go. Bang.
Bye,
Kat, I will talk
guys.
to you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
All right. It's that time. Are you ready? Okay, now before I get to this announcement, what do you think it's going to be? What is it going to be? Now, we already know that Big Brother Canada is starting next Wednesday. We already know that Dan Giesling will be in Toronto, to help some more support and promote it. We already know that my best friend is on the show. So what is left? What could this announcement possibly be? What is this? Okay, I'm looking. I'm looking for some guesses here. You're not going to get the announcement until I get some guesses. I'm prepared to make this as much of a stare down as you want it to be. I think we had a guess from Avon Clark, right? Avon thought that. Okay, am I the co-host? No, that's one guess. Show us the house. That's guess number two. Incorrect. One more, and I will tell you. I'm hosting a challenge. No. Okay. Here here is the announcement, and then I'm going to answer your question, Steve, because I think it's a good question. The announcement is this Friday night. Time to be determined. Stay tuned to my Twitter feed. I have a very special guest on the Murtz Show. In fact, it's a guest that I never thought I would ever get here. It is Robin Cass. That is correct. The lead casting person for Big Brother US and Big Brother Canada will be here on the Murtz Show to answer my questions and your questions. She will tell me all about this upcoming cast. We will talk a little bit about my good friend AJ Berman. I will tell her why I think AJ is going to run circles around the competition. So I hope you can all join us for that. That's coming up this Friday night. The time will be determined. Stay tuned to my Twitter feed. Let me put that up there for you. 1 second, 1 second. Bang. And then now I got to figure out how to do this. It's been a while. It's been a while. Bang. So just follow that. And that is where you can find out what time it's happening. Now, Steve, you asked me a pretty great question. When did I find out my best friend was going to be on the show? Did you only find out as the cast was released? I mean, I had an idea, certainly. I had an idea because we went to the open call together, and I know that I knew that like he came in for a second interview, but that's the extent of which I knew. But we live pretty. He doesn't live too far away from me, and when he suddenly went missing, um, I knew something was up. So I had a good idea that he had made it on. He's also lost a lot of weight as well. So I think that he's going to be a threat for sure. I can tell you with certainty that he knows a lot of my theories about the game. And for those of you that have sort of followed my career, I definitely have a thesis for how to win any reality show that I put together many years ago, and I believe that it applies to any show. Actually, other contestants on other shows have employed this strategy and have won every time. So, it's going to be interesting to see if it can happen. I mean, it's something that I think works better on Survivor. In Survivor, there's a lot more elements that you can control. Big Brother, it's more of a toss up, it's more of like you don't know who's going to win the veto, and there's a lot of randomness and random powers. But at its root level, certainly, I think that you can prepare yourself to win any reality show. So we shall see what happens with that. Why wasn't I cast on the show? I mean, I also actually tried out to be the host, and then I went to the open call. But because you guys are loyal Merch Show fans, I will drop another announcement on you, a second announcement. As you know, I was part of the Big Brother Canada Media Day, and that footage will be coming to me very shortly. Suffice to say, there were a lot of shenanigans. to I don't even think you're going to believe what happened, and I cannot wait to show you what happened. Um, so I think that that's coming up. That should be coming up within the next couple of days. And at that point, you'll be able to get your first look inside the house. You will also find out how I did. And as far as like why I wasn't on this season, well, I mean, I think that they pretty much cast my long lost brother in. I think his name is Anil, right? So, my gut is telling me that Anil and AJ are definitely going to be, an alliance pretty quickly. It's so weird to me this time too that they don't. It's because this is the first time that I've actually known somebody who went in. I've known them from before, like before they were on the show. Usually, I meet everybody after the show. Um, but it's so weird to me because that they don't know who the other house guests are. So here we are. talking about them, writing about them, commenting about them. This is the first time that it's sort of sinking into me that AJ has no idea who these other people are. So it's going to be fascinating to see. Um, what else? I think that's it. I think I'm gonna wrap up here. So Friday night we have Robin Cass. I believe I'm doing an amazing race show with Brittany Fletcher and Caitlin King on Sunday. That one might be rescheduled. I just found out it's the Oscars on Sunday, so keep aware to the Twitter feed for that. You can check out archive shows at themurtzshow.com. And I think that's it for me. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. I hope you had fun. Kat, you were great. And I will talk to you soon. That Robin show is going to be a big one. Get here early. Friday night. This is Murtz signing off.